Today's DVD spot, we're having a look at the new, pick it up here, we're having a look at the new Friday the 13th complete series on Blu-ray. You get 12 films of terror included in the Friday the 13th complete set. 12 films on 9 Blu-ray discs. Comes with a collectible tin case, 40-page Crystal Lake Memories book, brand new embroidered Camp Crystal Lake Counselor patch, a killer bonus disc full of special features, and so much more. Not only is it in a tin case, which I'll have a look at in a second, it comes in a cardboard sleeve that you can slide out. I'm really happy that they put it on a cardboard sleeve where you can take it out, because I would still want to keep this on here. The worst thing, and you probably have, for those who collect DVDs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The worst thing is when you get a kind of a cardboard or paper, gloss paper backing, and it's adhered only by 2 little gummy adhesives, like little gum, almost like little sticks of glue. It frays, it hangs off. You always keep thinking to yourself, you know what, I want to take this off altogether, because there's always something underneath it, but then you lose all the stuff that's on the back. So I'm glad this is in a sleeve. I can slide this out, and I can also keep it in here. So I mean, that I like. It shows you on the back some of the layout of the set. The most shocking slasher film series ever is now the Ultimate Blu-ray Collection. We take the sleeve off, like so. We'll just put that to the side. Put it to the side, like so. And you've got yourself the tin case. Now, unfortunately, you can see right away it's prone for fingerprints. I've got fingerprints already all over this, and I've barely handled this case at all. So you're probably going to find yourself polishing this case on a regular basis. But you got the 12 Films of Terror Friday the 13th, the complete collection. Yes, it does also include not only the remake, the reboot Friday the 13th, but it also contains the Freddy vs. Jason set. So really, it encompasses the entire series. Featured on the front, the Jason that they chose to advertise this tin case is the Jason Goes to Hell Jason. It's remarkable how whenever they advertise sets, 9 times out of 10, they usually go with a Jason Goes to Hell Jason. I'm always curious as to know why. But you've got the Jason Goes to Hell. It's embroidered too, or I guess it's etched. Is that the word I want to be using? Etched, where it's a raised surface. You can see the textures of his tattered shirt, and even like the machete. Spot's having a tough time spitting out. The machete is a raised surface as well. On the back of the case, you've got yourself a dock from the Camp Crystal Lake. And we opening the case up. Inside, one of the victims from the reboot. Her fate, not the most imaginative, but imagine getting a knife in the head and getting pulled up to the deck. Little dock there. We can reach in and you can pull this entire book set out. Pull it out like so, and you got yourself the bonus. There's just the back of it, the back of the case. We'll just put it there for product placement. You got yourself the bonus. Now you can own the Friday the 13th complete collection added to your digital collection with Ultraviolet. I don't ever use Ultraviolet, so it's not really something I care about too much. The set itself comes in a hardcover book format. On the front, it says, "I told others, they don't believe me. You're all doomed. You're all doomed." Down below, the complete collection. You can take this entire band off. It's just a elasticized band. Take it off like so. And included, before we look at the movies, I'm going to put that right there, you get yourself 2 pairs, or I guess, would it be a single pair? A pair of 2 Friday the 13th Part 3 3D glasses. The old school blue and red 3D glasses. You get 2 of them. You get yourself actually a very snazzy, can I use the word snazzy? You get yourself a very snazzy Camp Crystal Lake Counselor patch. which whenever they throw bonuses in like this, I don't use them. I just usually keep them inside. You know, I got lots of bonuses, like Hell's Kitchen. I think it came with an apron. I have yet to wear it. It still stays in the box. The Blue Harvest, Family Guy, I think also came with a t-shirt. I have yet to use it. It just sits in the box. This, I'm not going to use this. I'm just going to keep this in with the case, keep everything together. You get yourself the Crystal Lake Memories. A summarized, I don't know if it's the full extent, it's just more like the images. A lot of the majority of the write-ups, they've summarized this into a smaller, almost just like a little portable version of the larger book. I've got the larger book, and it's a brilliant read. And having it now carried over to a Blu-ray, which we'll talk about in a second. But having just a summarized version of it, just something that you can look at while before, after, or during your viewing of the movie. It's a nice little booklet to have. And on the back, there's Freddy versus Jason. Inside, between the two actors, Kane Hodder should have been in that movie, but I digress. Ken Kersinger was Jason. Nothing against him, but would have preferred Kane Hodder. Anyways, moving that aside. We've got ourselves the front cover, which I believe is just utilizing the mask of the reboot. This was this is with the earlier advertised promos for the remake Friday the 13th. The movies are all individually sleeved. They give like a little brief, did you know? For example, early in her career, Betsy Palmer, who plays Jason Voorhees' fiercely devoted mother, was a news reporter on The Today Show. Along with her other television work, she appeared in such films as hugely popular Mr. Roberts, starring Henry Fonda and Jack Lemmon. There's a picture of Betsy Palmer. Each of the DVDs, or Blu-rays, I should say, are sleeved. Not really my preferred method of having these stored, but usually when they're going to be in a booklet like what you see here, they're always in this sleeve format. But you can slide it out with your hand and, you know, get to the center spindle opening where you don't have to worry about touching it. But on a couple of viewings, especially Friday the 13th Part 3, without really realizing, I pulled it like this. I got a fingerprint on there. So when you're opening these and pulling these out, just kind of slide them out. And they, for the most part, slide out fairly easy. I just don't like the fact that I don't like this format of DVD, of how to retrieve your DVDs. Friday the 13th Part 2 is included, of course. Friday the 13th Part 3, legendary makeup and special effects artist Stan Winston, who was instrumental in creating the makeup effects in Friday the 13th Part 3, won 4 Academy Awards and received 10 nominations during his illustrious career. Sadly, Stan Winston has since passed, but Friday the 13th Part 4, the final chapter. I also like the fact that these are all, well, I shouldn't say that. They're not all individual. Friday the 13th Part 5 and Friday the 13th Part 6 are on one set. Friday the 13th Part 7 and 8 are also on one respective DVD. Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X on one. And lastly, well, I shouldn't say lastly, you got Freddy vs. Jason. And now lastly, the Friday the 13th reboot. In 2009 version of Friday the 13th, Jason appears in both the burlap sack, as he did in the original, and the hockey mask, which became an iconic image for the character. Lastly, you get yourself the Killer Bonus DVD, the Killer Bonus Disc DVD with Uber Jason pictured down below. Now, unfortunately, in the way of bonuses, Spot's going to put this down just for a second. In the way of bonuses, you're not going to get anything new. The real draw for this, if anything, is probably the fact that you get the booklet, the complete history of Friday the 13th. You get yourself the patch, and you get yourself the glasses. The bonus killer DVDs, the bonus killer DVD, is the same one we've gotten with the original Friday the 13th, Crystal Lake to Manhattan Ultimate Edition DVD collection. If you look to the very last, if I hopefully got this in order here, the very last DVD, Killer Extras, Friday the 13th, everything you wanted to know, but were afraid to ask. You flip it around to the back, Friday the 13th Chronicles 8-part featurette, The Secrets Galore, Behind the Gore, 3-part featurette, Crystal Lake Victims Tell All, Tales from the Cutting Room Floor, Friday Artifacts and Collectibles, and Scary Trailers are all on this set. That's really all you're going to get. It's good if you didn't get this set. Spot, obviously, every time these sets seem to come out, I always want to pick them up. I've got the individual Friday 13th sets as well. But sadly, if you already had this set, the only draw to getting this set is getting it on Blu-ray and, of course, the aforementioned bonuses. So you're going to get this bonus disc on there. The things that you didn't get on this set were not only the His Name Was Jason, which I still think of as a very mediocre documentary. I don't like the way that they kind of just mished and mashed everything together into a documentary. And sadly, it also doesn't include the Crystal Lake Memories Complete History of Friday the 13th. I could perhaps understand why. I mean, I know we've got the Reaching Off Camera Again. I know we've got already the Crystal Lake Memories book. So you would ask yourself, well, why didn't they include this? Being that this is a new release, it probably either did not make the timing of getting this set released, or because this was released recently, they obviously didn't want to package it in and take sales away from getting this. Or the third option, different studio produced it. This, sadly, is not included. I would have liked it, but I guess when I'm pulling out a documentary and I want to watch it, I can appreciate more pulling this out, opening this up, and watching the Crystal Lake Memories. And I don't have to worry about, as you've seen it, taking this all apart, taking the strap off, taking the back book off, opening it up, finding the sleeve, pulling it out, putting it in the disc, when I've got it so readily available here. It would have been nice, though, if it had come with the extra bonuses besides just the killer cuts, the killer extras. But it is what it is, and I'm still happy with the set. Now, if you would ask me what the picture quality is, being that this is now a Blu-ray transfer of the original films, some of them are better than others. I think when you start getting to around 6 and onward, the picture quality gets a lot better. I was watching actually part 3D today, actually just before shooting this review. And part 3D, unfortunately, Notorious was... the picture quality was a very grainy. The enhancement in having it as a Blu-ray format, you could tell it looked a little bit better, but it's not... I always use the example if somebody asks me how some old movies get transferred, and I say old movies, but like the 80s movies, how some movies, how well they can get transferred to a Blu-ray format. And the example that I always use is Labyrinth. If you ever get a chance to watch the Labyrinth release on Blu-ray, it is crystal clear. It looks as if it was shot the other day. By comparison, and unfortunately, the original video source that they had for some of these movies, probably they couldn't remaster as much of them as they could. Some of the older movies, like Friday the 13th Part 3, are really grainy. They look clearer than the original standard DVDs, but not by a lot. Again, when you start getting into the later series, then you start noticing that the quality gets a little bit better on them. But some of the older movies, they're not that much better. They're not that much better. Would I recommend this set as a whole? I think if you haven't had a chance to either collect the previously released Friday the 13th, and the likelihood if you're a Friday the 13th fan, you probably have already collected these sets. Having them in a Blu-ray version benefits some of the later movies. Some of the earlier movies, a little bit clearer, but not really a whole heck of a lot. To get the extras, you know, you're getting glasses, sure, okay, that's nice. The patch, all right, a nice little throw in. Having it packaged like this in the steel case is a nice treat, but I would say, considering that only 2/3 of the movies look better, I would say unless you're really a die-hard fan or you never have collected the Friday the 13th, this is a good set to get. If you have collected the other Friday the 13ths and you really don't care about having it on Blu-ray, I don't think you're really going to miss much, especially, if I just reach off camera again, especially if you've already had a chance to pick up this set. This set really has everything that you need, or the individual, I think a lot of them were 2-disc releases, but the 2-disc released Friday the 13th that came a couple years later than these. This set is still an ideal set to go with. Having it in this format is just above and beyond your love for Friday the 13th. I'm happy with getting this, and I'm very happy I was able to pick this up. but I feel like they could have just thrown a little bit more in there besides just giving us the killer extras. So overall, I would say it's debatable as to whether you think this is worth a purchase. If you have picked it up, definitely let me know down below your overall thoughts on the 12 Films of Terror, Friday the 13th, the complete collection on Blu-ray. Today's DVD spot, we're having a look at this, as already mentioned. And certainly stay tuned. Spot's going to have more DVD spots heading your way. Thanks for watching. See you next time.